Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the We Tell Stories podcast. We're sitting down with past artists to talk about their story and their process and the impact that We Tell Stories had on their lives and their careers. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we want to sit down with loyal fans of We Tell Stories to talk about their stories and the impact We Tell Stories has had on their lives. So if you are a fan, we want to make sure to get you on the podcast. So speaking of, before we get started, I want y'all to go ahead, click that button. Not only the play button, but the like, the subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Because we have not only good talks throughout the podcast, but specifically today on the We Tell Stories podcast. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the building, we got Camdukes. That dress is for the club. That dress is for the club. Listen, Cam, I gotta tell this story, man, because it was our first, our only, and our last collaboration, you and I, on Boise. Okay. And Cam got on Boise, and I was at, Boise is like where you sing something and then anybody can like add something to it. Yeah. And Cam was talking about being in the house, and somebody else got him on Boise. Yeah. What was it? It's I wanna take a some. You remember that? It was I want to take a long ride on a long road. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get up out this house, y'all. Something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I just want to take a. Whoa, do you remember what it was?
No, I don't remember the melody or nothing. That was just a late night. It was with COVID.
It was right in the middle of COVID. And Boise was popping during COVID.
It was.
Because people couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And everybody was like trying to be creative, and it was a way for us to connect with each other.
They was making albums.
Listen, they had producers that was like throwing tracks on there and everything.
Yeah,
I was like, this is nice. Mm-hmm. And it's cool because like when you have people that are creatives and you lock them into a space, sometimes they lose their creativity or their creativity blossoms, right? Yeah. I talk to kids all the time. We talk to kids about getting outside the box. And I'm like, you creative when you can create in the box, right? Like that's when creativity, like I tap into your creativity. Mm-hmm. If you get outside the box and I give you all these resources, then I'm not really tapping into your creativity. Mm-hmm. But if I put you in a box with limited resources and you can still create, that's when you MacGyver that mug. That's I need some duct tape, a pencil, a piece of gum,
and a paperclip.
Come on now. And it's like MacGyver was the dude in the box, right? And so Boise was popping and allowed me to fulfill my lifelong dream of collaborating with the international artists. So Cam, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
So the reason that you're on this show, not only because Heady loves you, and you are a fan favorite, but because you were an OG original at We Tell Stories. Just like give us the vibe, the energy of We Tell Stories, like how you got involved, like what are some of your favorite memories? Like just tell the people that are listening about We Tell Stories.
I miss it so much.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Because I think it was more than just poetry. Mm-hmm. It was a relationship building. Ooh. And even still some people that I met from that, still friends to this day. And but honestly, I don't even remember how I got involved. I know it had to do something with Heady.
Yeah, everything got to do with Heady.
Yeah, and so I just remember going in there and feeling like, oh, it's people like me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like people who love God, some people who was just there to hang out, but a lot of people were believers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was a spot where it was clean, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you wasn't finna get nothing vulgar, and you would have people just creating art, especially with the poetry. Right. You could just sit back and it kind of take you somewhere. Yeah. You know, and so I just remember the vibe being like, this is how it's supposed to be, to hang out with people, enjoy art, and enjoy clean art and fun. And so, that was one of the best eras of my life as far as being among creatives and creating, you know.
Yeah, so when you think about being in this space, at the time, you was a young man, right? We talking about 05, 06,
20s,
right? Yeah. We in our 20s, our mid 20s, and we're the same age, and that's not even where it started. A lot of people think that We Tell Stories started at Java Days, right? And boiled over to camps, and then boiled over to Frontline, but We Tell Stories actually started in Bricktown on the streets. Is that right, Eddie?
Yeah.
It was on the streets, like literally open. Did you know that?
No.
It was literally open. Like people would come by, and it started with 5 or 10 folks, 10, 15, 20 people would come by, and they would do open mic type stuff. And then it got so popular, so big, Haiti made this leap to try to get it in a building. And it was very, what made it, I think, appealing is that I think Christian folks want to be out.
Yeah.
They want to be out, but they are
tired of bowling.
Come on now. They're tired of bowling. And I'm going to be frank, they tired of being in church.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I can do another event at church, but like, why we got to be confined to the walls of the building? It's like, we do Bible study at church, we do Sunday church, we do choir rehearsal at church, we do all this. It was like, we can go have an artistic expression, and we can dress up and be handsome and cute, and we can go on dates, and we can order food, and we can sit down and have the energy without compromising like what we believe in. And that's an element of We Tell Stories that Heady kind of held true to. He was really adamant about like, this is like, Christian people come here, but I'm not broadcasting it as a Christian event. And that allowed a lot of different people to come and get rubbed on, right? Like rubbed against, and it's like, you here seeing all these creative people, and I was like, wait, this is a Christian event? It's not. But everybody here Christian. You want to get some of this? And then we have people that continue to come back and be a part of that community. So when you think about like one of your most precious memories, because I got a ton of We Tell Stories memories. When you think about a memory that stands out, what is one memory that is like super vivid to you about We Tell Stories?
One of them is when we had the band Stand Walk Dance, and we all came out singing to one of the songs, and the band members could sing too. And we all had on white, and I just that's a memory that sticks with me. It's just us being, just one. Walking out there, and we used to practice hard and try to perfect what God had put together. And that memory right there just stays in my head, man. And, and a lot of artists, I remember when I first seen you, and I thought you were a comedian.
I was not.
And so you used to have us rolling. And then I heard you sing. I was like, man, this dude can sing too. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
Yeah, and I remember Sean Johnson, Ali, like that sticks. And then Heady just got away with people. That's like, the energy is strong. And so I always remember him like, man, he's just himself. And I think that made everybody else feel comfortable. But just seeing everybody, Rob Clay, J.R. Cross, Sean Johnson, just seeing all of these different artists, Exodus. And it's a ton of memories too, man, for me. And,
so when you think about being a young artist, mid-20s, and I know you were an early creative, but thinking about mid-20s kind of jumping out and being a public type of thing, because you used to sing R&B. A lot of people don't know that. Like you started out singing love songs.
No, they weren't love songs.
They weren't love songs?
It was worse than love songs.
Well, I was trying to be modest for the people. I was trying to. So what the transition? What was that transition like for you? Like when you decided, like, I'm gonna only do this.
It was difficult at first because you feel like there was always that stigma that if you do gospel, you throw away the possibility of being heard. You know what I mean? Because it's always that.
Is there some truth to that?
Like the gospel is whack,
But is there some truth? Like what's the true part of I can sing about this and I can dress this way, like, but if I go over, then my chances of succeeding and doing it for a living and making it a career goes down. Like there's some truth to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the truth?
I've come to some encounters where I went to some popular radio stations at the time. I'm gonna just say it.
Ooh, wait. You gonna say the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
97.9.
Ooh, 97.9.
Remember that? I don't think it's the same show that it is now.
No.
But took my album there. The guy said, I can't even remember who the program director was. He was like, this is the best project that I've heard in the city. the quality is good, like the engineering and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but it's too much gospel.
Yeah.
This is a song never play on player.
Really?
Yeah.
That was too much gospel?
He said, we've been playing Jesus Walks from Kanye, and we've been getting all kind of calls. So he said, I said, well, you know this song is about a husband being faithful to his wife. And I only say Jesus at the end. Players on my left, players on my right, turn in your player's card and Jesus take your life.
Yeah.
I know, man, I know, but it's just too religious.
Never play on faith.
Yeah. But, you know, it was other radio stations that did play it. But it was that moment I thought, so you can play things about shooting and back that thing up. But telling a community of men to be faithful to their wives is a problem. That's when I realized, okay, God, whoever you want to hear me is going to be heard.
Yeah.
And I'm not, quote unquote, pushing to try to make myself known.
Right.
Of course, you're going to promote and all that stuff. But you do that knowing that God is in control of all of that too.
Right.
So whoever's going to hear you is going to hear you, and whoever's not, they're not.
Now, one of the things that I know about you is that you're pretty, like once you get going in a direction, like you stick to it. You like, nope, this is what I'm doing.
Stubborn.
And you're stubborn. I say confident, right, firm.
Yeah.
We can say stubborn.
Yeah.
I think some people need an element of stubborn.
Yeah.
I think Kanye said, I'm not rude, I'm just focused.
Yeah, I would say focused too.
Yeah.
Stubborn and focused.
I think one of the things that I enjoy about you is that whether you're playing basketball or ping pong, table tennis, Cam is a real good table tennis player, by the way. Regardless of like whatever it is, like you're gonna stick true to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you don't shy away. Like, where does that boldness come from, man? It's like, it's Jesus, it's the gospel, what does the Bible say? And then I'm gonna let that infiltrate my life. Like, I'm gonna live it, I'm gonna talk about it, I'm not gonna share. I mean, even before the show started, you was like, no, like, let's lean into it, baby.
Yeah.
And so where do you get that boldness from? Like, where does that come from? Where does that stubbornness come from?
I think I like reality.
Okay.
And I don't like to be hustled.
And
so if the truth is the truth, you know, it's the truth. And I think that we kind of live and die by the truth. Kind of like what we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And that's, if something is red, it's red. And I don't understand why it's so hard for it to be red.
Yeah.
You know, good and bad, man. Like, there's some things that, you know, just in my life that if I see that it's the truth, you know, I'm not gonna play with something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the truth.
Now we're in a society now, man, that we can both look at something and you say it's red and I'm looking at it and it's like, that's blue.
Yeah.
And
that's
if you push back, how dare you infringe on my truth? Because you talking about truth.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the same thing you looking at, and I'm like, nah, that's blue.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you, as an artist, as a creative, as a businessman, like how do you deal with that?
I look at it two ways. There's subjective truth, and then there's objective truth. And I think what society does is they take subjective truth and call it objective. Like, for instance, like flavors of ice cream, that's subjective. Vanilla is the best flavor. It might not be your best flavor. What they do is they take it and they say, this is objective. You know, versus that car is red.
Yeah.
And you just can't, it's not logical. You can't conflict the two. And I think that, I think more people just need to stand up and say those types of things. Because in reality, when the truth always is there in your mind.
Yeah.
Even when you see that something is false. But there's a fear now that you can't speak the truth, even when it's false. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but everybody is kind of thinking the same thing.
You think so?
In a sense, but we found a way to coddle lies, you know, so that we won't offend.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. It's just my personality.
Yeah. And if anybody's heard your music or heard you talk or spent any time with you, they are not confused on your stance on religious topics, on community, on relationships, on like they're very clear. Like that dress is for the club. Like never play your own player, right? Like I think to me, as you were being forged in the fire, some people they bend and they break, but like you got firmer and firmer and firmer into what you believe. And so like if somebody was listening to your album and they was like, Cam, or your albums, and they were like, Cam, like I want to get to know who you are in 3 songs. In 3, all the songs that you created, whether they're collaborations or whatever, like I want to get to know who you are and what you stand for in 3 songs. Yeah. What 3 songs would you direct them towards?
Man, that's a complex question because a song is a song and a person is a person.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I would hope that
or 5 songs.
Yeah.
Give some songs that maybe not represent the whole of who you are.
Right.
But they represent parts and pieces, and together you may get a better picture of who you are.
Yeah, because I kind of want to clarify that. Like, I'm not this perfect person who lives every bit of my song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a good qualifier.
I try to put out the truth, and I strive to, but sometimes that could get conflicted, and people feel judged by me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm not my music.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't ever want to be that, but I want to strive to be that.
Mm.
You know, just the reality.
Yeah.
But I would say, give them the truth will be one. I would say that I still got you. It's kind of like I depend on God, you know, with a lot of things. We'll narrow it down to 3.
Okay.
I would say. Man, I'm having a hard time thinking of my own song. I would say Giving the Truth and I Still Got You was really described.
Still Clean?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Different kind of normal?
Different kind of normal?
Different kind of normal.
Now that's We Tell Stories classic right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like what's up, but then what you said about me? Cause was a thing to be. Yeah. But what no one does, it's not no one does. Yeah.
It's kinda weird.
Come on.
It's really weird. Some people call me weird.
I don't know words, but I'd be like, hey! And you know, this was another thing that I love about Cam's music is like, I can play it in front of my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can push it in, I can play it, and from the first track to the end, right? And it's like you're gonna get some hip hop, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get like I call it body rolling music, you know what I'm saying? I'm a classic body roller, you know, like
I do remember
that. But it's gonna be dance music.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so you're gonna get some worship in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nice little groove. It's gonna be Saturday morning cleaning music. You know, it's like I enjoy being able to not having to be guarded when I push play. Because you know some stuff you just don't want to let all of it in.
Right.
No matter how poppy it is, no matter how much it thumps, you know how much it drops. And so I think that's something valuable that I appreciate about your music. So when I think about significant relationships that were made, right? We Tell Story was always about not only artists honing their crafts and like sharing their talent with the people, but Heady always provided an opportunity for people to connect. What are some significant relationships that you developed out of We Tell Stories that you still have to this day?
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be, you know, a lot of the people who was just doing a lot of events and stuff throughout the city. Yeah. Because we reconnected in that spot where we really felt at home. So, Cadence, Marcus Jackson.
Yeah.
Is
Eastside drummer.
Yeah, Eastside drummer. Sean Johnson. Rob Clay. Yeah. Tony Foster.
Ooh. That name was wild.
Yeah. It's a lot of people, man. That's still just a unit of people from that home. It was home, man.
It almost reminds me of like how rappers reflect on like Death Row.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we was like just popping through the studio and like everybody was grinding. Everybody was like, it was this thing where once a month, man, we just really got to come and be creative and have fun and try some stuff.
You know what's crazy is that at that time I was traveling a lot. And there weren't a lot of cities like what we had here.
Really?
And I don't think people understood that.
Say that for the people in the back.
I mean, you think about the events that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and we would bring 400 or 500 people to an event, a gospel event, and it wasn't a choir or it wasn't a, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is, I was going a lot of places, and then we'll come back home and see what God was doing here. Amazing, bro.
Packed.
It was amazing.
Like a line out the door.
Yeah.
Like standing room only.
Yeah.
Like we got in trouble for moving furniture around because we had to get rid of the tables. Like, and we had only chairs only, right? It was like, and then trying to like switch the format up, like so we could have the band over here, and then it was like on the stage, and then just trying to squeeze people in so people didn't miss out.
What else is like that now?
So that, I mean, that goes on to our next question. Like, could we tell stories thrive today?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I think it was such a special moment, and I think a lot of things added to it. You know, we had the radio stations supporting us. We had the college scene, you know, which a lot of people were young, and it was kind of college spread, you know. But you know who if we did it, the people who was there, I think they would come back.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like a little reunion?
A reunion would be dope. I think we can get a lot of people back with a reunion.
Here's the cool thing about that is like when I think about from beginning to end, and Heady can check me on this. I feel like I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
The most famous people that we brought out was Soul Fruit out of Houston, and then Shay Norman. Everybody else was local.
Local, bro.
Like packing it out. Everybody else was local.
There was the lady. What was the lady's name? Dark skin lady. Oh man.
Whitney Houston.
No.
Did Whitney come through?
You know the lady.
I have nothing.
Oh,
Did you bring her out?
She has a sound like Sean had. Sean brought her out.
Oh,
Andrea. Adrian.
Adrian something,
Yeah.
Something E. Adrian.
Man, I'm embarrassed.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, Adrian hit me up in the chat section. I'm just gonna stick to what I said. I think Soul Fruit and Shay Norman. I remember Adrian Archie.
Yeah,
Adrian Archie. Yeah. You know?
No.
I'm looking at the camera like, but everybody else for years. How long? We Tell Stories ran for 12 years, 11 years.
Yeah.
You know what I think it would work? If Java Dave's let us come back.
It's camps now.
Camps.
New management.
Yeah.
I've been in there, and they don't even host like events anymore. There used to be a guy that would be up. He played the guitar, and we would have to wait for him to finish before we set up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They don't even let him come back, and they haven't let him back for years. And so I think, you know, it's as an event planner, you know, Heady side, and as a host of MC, we would go back and forth all the time, like, do we charge more? Because what people don't know, and I'm gonna look people in the camera right now, I'm making eye contact. Heady funded a lot of We Tell Stories, like, out of pocket, like, and people don't know that. He'll never say that. I'm saying it now. Heady funded out of pocket for years We Tell Stories. It wasn't even to the back end that We Tell Stories was able to pay for itself. And so,
but Heady rich though. So.
Heady like Tommy. Nobody know what Heady do. He can't come up on this scooter. Where you get that scooter from, bro? Like,
man. I mean, I know what you're saying, but you know, when you rich, it's
you know, Heady got it. He ain't flinching.
Hey, we only have We Tell Stories on payday.
No, that's why I was on the Friday.
That's why I was on Friday. Once a month on Friday. It's either on the 15th or the 31st. Which one was it? But I think like.
Or then it was like, you better be able to pay these bills.
You know, the part that's nostalgic, but also, you know, you want to be kind of real is like, can it sustain?
I think it would be a reunion, and then see what goes from there. You know,
would it be a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it would be.
It would be.
And they're having a good time?
That'll be fun.
Do we need a place for 40 and 50-year-olds to go hang out?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because we all smoking cigars now.
Come on now. Come on. At the lounge. At the lounge. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I think it's you know, we go through these phases, man, where we are inspired and we create and we collaborate, and then life happens, and then people kind of go their separate ways. Yeah. But I love a good reunion. I love seeing people. I love hearing music, and it's like, oh man, I haven't heard that song in a long time. And I think that would be good. Of course, you know, people have tried to do it. Heady wasn't a part of it, and it was like, you know, that was cool.
Heady has to be a part of it.
Heady's got to be a part of it.
I
You
mean,
tell people Heady coming back.
You got to be a part of it. Like,
I'll do it if Heady do it. And I ain't got no choice. But to do it. I ain't got no choice. And the cool thing about it is that he won't have to pay for it this time, right?
He don't have to pay me though.
He was like, listen, back in the day. Back in the day.
Nah, I give him a great discount.
Yeah, a great discount. What do you say for somebody that has been forged in the fire of hustle and taking $50 gigs and burning your own CDs and like making music in the closet, you know, like what do you say to a young artist that's coming up that may not have a We Tell Stories community but wants to establish him or herself as a legitimate artist? Like how do you encourage them? What do you say to them?
I still say try to produce the best quality of whatever you're doing. I think at the end of the day, if you can come up with a great song, you know, that will get heard. You know what I mean? And to keep pushing, because now compared to then, was YouTube even around back then?
YouTube was around.
YouTube just started, but I don't think our phones could record.
I mean, we had the little camcorders, right?
We had camcorders. So, but nowadays, I mean, you can put some stuff on YouTube
immediately,
right after you done released it. I mean, right after you done recorded it. So, I would say do as much content as you can, and then when you're working on it, make sure you love it. Like, love what you're doing. Don't stop until you can sit back and listen to it and like, I like that. And then you move forward. Because nothing halfway done is works. It doesn't succeed. It's greatness, man.
I was talking to Sean, and I was saying, Sean, people don't know, bro, that you had a job while you was making music. Like, talk to the people about these artists like that want to quit their jobs and they want to. He said, no. Talk to them, man. Like,
you know, as much as we are on social media, we can't say that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so we can work and then spend 4 hours a day on social media. Then you can work and then spend 4 hours a day on your craft. That's a lot.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? That's what, like, if you're doing 5 days, that's like 20 hours a week and 80 hours a month. That's almost 1,000 hours a year. How long do it take you to master something?
I think it's 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a significant investment.
It's a significant investment, especially if you start young. But so I would say definitely keep your job. Because you want to have a source of income, because art is not always successful financially.
Listen.
And so you
gotta love it.
You gotta love it. Now, if you got a way to sustain yourself, you know, you got some stocks and all that stuff put together. You got a mama and a daddy that can, hey, I'm finna give you, you know, $1,000 a month, just go work on what you're working on. Hey, man, take advantage of that. Because art, especially music, man, it is so much that goes into a 5-minute song that people don't understand.
No idea.
That you have to invest time into it. Right. And so it's hard to halfway, you know, like one song, I would say an average of one song from top to bottom being wrote, recorded, mixed, mastered, I would say it's around 10 hours.
For one song?
For one song.
And that's if, like, you got everything lined up, right?
Yeah, you got everything lined up. And so, I mean, if you think about it that way, then you have to be really, you know, invested in giving that. And
so, a lot of times, I think, as listeners, as people who don't spend time in the studio, as people who don't write, we want to make people their music. And I heard you earlier say, like, I strive, like I write my music, but I'm not my music. I'm still striving to become what I write and sing about. How much has music impacted and shaped your life as you're writing it, as you're singing it, as you're listening to it, as you're in the world of music and you're absorbing it and critiquing it and appreciating it? Like, how is music, as somebody who produces and writes it, how does it impact your life?
So I think that just as a person who's in it, it really impacts me, like on a deep level. I feel like it's a therapy of some sort, especially for the writer. The writer, I'm kind of quiet, like most people don't really realize that. Like, so I got a lot of thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm not a great communicator when it comes to, just saying what I feel at the time.
Yeah.
And so, which I'm working on right now, matter of fact.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to write out my thoughts, it's like a form of therapy. And then when I hear other people communicating their thoughts, it gives you a different perspective. I always say, like, a song is so much deeper than words, right? It's really it's the closest way to express an emotion, because it comes with a melody, So, for instance, I've had pastors come up to me and said, I can't preach about how people dress at church, right? Said, but I can play your song, and they will think about it. So I think that music with the melody, I think it's something spiritual to it. It impacts your emotions differently than me just saying something to you.
Yeah.
And so music is a big part of my life, man. And I don't think it would ever change, And just writing and listening, I've listened to a lot of songs that just really encouraged me on that particular day.
Yeah.
I've listened to stuff that I wrote like I didn't even write it. It breaks me down.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
powerful.
Thinking about songs like Do You Love Me? And I'm like, Lord, what am I doing right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, it's powerful.
I was talking to Sean and Marcus, and I'm sure you'll be able to identify with this. Marcus said when he was younger, he would get easily distracted by the train, the ding, 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 or like a seatbelt ding, or like the door being open with the key in the ignition, the tick of a clock, like, and then I was talking to Sean, and Sean's talking about being a movie script writer, movie producer, that he just sees things like everything's a story. So as a creative yourself, like, do you find yourself writing or thinking like, ooh, that's a good lyric, or like finding inspiration in these weird places and weird moments? Like, do you lose yourself and identify with music, or you hear something, you're like, oh, that would be a nice melody, or like, do you find yourself like being immersed in that creative space often?
Yeah, I'm learning more about myself too. So at the end, sometimes I will hear a song. I don't know if this is just me, but a song will be playing low and you really can't hear it. My mind takes it to a whole nother melody, and I hear this beautiful song, right? And then when I turn it up, it's totally different.
It's not even that.
Yeah. And so I've done that my whole life, and sometimes I would like create like that.
Yeah.
I would turn music down, and I would hear something different, and I would just create from what I was hearing different.
Yeah.
And make a song out of that. But one thing I have noticed is that I fall asleep on movies.
Really?
And I never knew why until just really thinking about it.
Why is it?
The music. Like if it's a stringy movie, like spacey and, ambient music, I'm gone.
Done.
So now if I'm tired and I can't sleep, I'm downloading some ambient albums, bro.
Really?
And 3 or 4 minutes, I'm gone.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm still learning myself in music.
Yeah.
And what does what, to me. Like I can concentrate when I listen to classical.
Wow.
If I'm reading a book and classical music,
yeah,
it's like boom, boom, the words just blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm playing a song with words, I can't read nothing.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So, give us 5 things. We're going to come to a close here in probably the next 10 minutes, but give us 5 things that people would not know about Cam? Like they listen to your music and they may see you at a show, or one, you said you're quiet, introverted, maybe.
Yeah.
Give us 4 more things that people would not guess about you. Sean said he loves chicken.
Okay. So
Everybody know that. You know, I don't know why he said that, but
I throw axes.
shut up.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Are you good at it?
Yeah. And I'm trying to get to the next level. I want to get on ESPN.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm an axe thrower.
Did you know that?
No.
What?
I'm in the league.
You're an axe throwing league?
Yeah. Yeah.
That means you're good.
It's called Twisted Axes. I'm okay. I come in about 5th every season.
Do you have your own axes?
Absolutely.
Is that the plural of axe?
I have my axe with me right now. It's in the trunk. I probably shouldn't ride around with an axe,
You probably should.
but
I don't know. He's black man in a
it's a
Tesla. He's
hatchet.
trusted.
It's a hatchet.
He's trusted. He's trusted. It's like he's black, but he in a Tesla. Like, give him a pass.
Hey, man, it's in the trunk, man. I
Yeah.
don't keep it underneath the seat and nothing like that.
Yeah, just keep it in the trunk.
Outside's will let you know I got an axe in the car.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Before we go any further,
Okay, that's number 2.
I like going out to eat alone,
Okay.
all by myself.
What's your favorite kind of food?
Ethiopian food.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I can go there. And
Queen of Sheba?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you eat with your hands?
It ain't no other way to eat Ethiopian food.
It's a lot of other
With
ways to eat.
injera in my hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Okay.
stink for like a day.
Yeah, you do.
But I enjoy eating alone.
Okay.
Sometimes I go to the movies and only buy popcorn and leave. Because popcorn movie just tastes much better.
It does, but you can buy it though.
No, it's not the same. It's
You
something.
gotta go to the theater
Yeah.
and get it.
I go in. Sometimes I see people like, "What you about to watch?" I'm like, "Nothing.
Nothing,
Just
just
buying
getting this
popcorn."
That's so good. Okay, give us one more. Give us one more.
One more, man. I guess I'm kind of like, I like taking walks, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, just kind of walking around.
Like out the front door, shut it, walk down the street, or
Go
like
downtown,
okay.
walk around the park,
Yeah.
Scenery type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clears your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're more introspective than I remember.
Yeah.
And I think, do you think that comes with age?
Absolutely. You just kind of, you learn yourself. I'm 44 now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think when you're younger, you feel, especially in Christianity, you feel like you're doing everything right.
Yeah.
As you get older, you have to see a lot of yourself and say, okay, I'm not what I thought I was,
Mhm.
but I need to get back, or thank you, God, for your mercy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think life kind of humbles you
Mm-hmm.
and causes you to depend more on God than on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could write a song title right now, not a whole song, that could capture the season of your life, what would the title of that song be?
Wow, that's a deep one. I would say strive.
Strive?
Yeah.
Would it be like a slow song? Would it be upbeat? Are we like doing Running Man to it?
It'd be slow.
It'd be slow?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be melodic? You gonna
Yeah.
open up the vocals?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of harmonies.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when we leave, I'm gonna go right.
He's on the right now. All right right now. All right right now. I think about often seeing people grow over time, and I really want you to look into this camera right here, and I want you to talk to that young man, that young woman that is coming into themselves, that have a ton of mistakes ahead of them, but also a ton of potential.
Yeah.
That's an artist that's trying to dial into a community similar to We Tell Stories, that they think about quitting music every single day.
Yeah.
How do we keep them going? Like, how do we encourage them? How do we push them into this camera? Just talk to them for about 60 seconds.
Yeah, I would say that everything that you do is that God knows is really planned out. Like there's a path for us to walk in. You know what I mean? And I think that not looking at the moment and always looking and understanding and being okay with not knowing what's to come. God has you in a place for that particular time, for that particular season, to do things for His people. And so, if you are in that moment of like, why am I doing this? Still to this day, man, people contact me and say, your music has really influenced my life. This is what, 15 years later? Mm-hmm. And so just keep doing what you know God has called you to do and keep pushing.
It's amazing. What projects you got up, man? You got any big things happening? Like what's coming down the pipe? What can people expect from camdukes?
I wrote a fictional book.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be like a series, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's the end goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's called Bubba's Way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a soundtrack to the book.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that I want to do with it.
Yeah.
I want to do a curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
End goal, I want to do a movie, but Sean Johnson just doing all his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to do my movie.
I bet he'll give you a good
Sean,
discount.
you know, when we gonna do the movie, bro? I mean, I know you got 5 projects coming up. Don't forget about the little people, bro. But I haven't released it, and so I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to roll it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there, you got social media, you still got people there? Are you like taking a break or what's going on with, how can people follow and keep?
Yeah, it's
keep
still
in touch?
there.
It's still there?
I'm a scroller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a scroller too. I haven't been posting as much. I just
Yeah.
been like, scroll, like.
Music by Cam. And,
Yeah.
You know, I got the print shop.
Yeah.
Cam Silk Screen and Design.
Mm-hmm.
CamsPrintShop.com.
Yeah.
So I'm about to start doing more of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm coming from both generations where life was kind of private,
Mm-hmm.
and then life is social now.
Yeah.
And I still haven't really transitioned all the way.
Yeah.
You know, I'll put some stuff up about my daughter.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
other than that, man, I'm just looking at what y'all do.
Yeah. I was talking to he's a speaker and he's 67 years old.
Yeah.
And he said I used to book gigs based on what I did.
Yeah.
He was like, now I book gigs based on who I am. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it took a while to realize that people wanted to know me. Mm-hmm. And then after they got to know me, then they would book what I did. Yeah. And he was like, it didn't used to be that way. It was like, right. Oh, you were a banker? I need a banker. Oh, you're a lawyer? Now it's like, do I like you?
Right.
And then they'll figure out what you do, and then they'll patronize you that way. So I think we're just kind of in this phase where people want more than the movie. They want more than the music. They want more than the product. Mm-hmm. And I know my kids, they will not shop at a place. They will not eat at a place based on something they heard about what they do. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do you like Chick-fil-A? Yeah. Like, do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't want to eat there because whatever. I'm like, okay. We're going to get you a greasy Popeye sandwich.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, with some bad service.
Yeah, it's like, come on now. I done went to 4 Popeyes.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got the sandwich?
Well, hold on. Not all Popeyes do bad service.
Come on, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
They do be fighting. I ain't never seen them fight at Chick-fil-A.
I ain't never seen a fight.
But I'm sure it's up on YouTube.
Somewhere hidden deep in the scroll in the YouTube hole. If I find one, I'm gonna repost it. Oh, we gotta keep Chick-fil-A humble. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for camdukes. Wonderful human being. We have a We Tell Stories alum. What are the people, the Mount Rushmore of We Tell Stories? Yeah. Someone that came through, supported, showed up consistently, man. Put your gift on stage, on the platform. You helped us grow a community that's still thriving and being talked about today. I have so many relationships, because of that environment, and you're one of them. So thank you all so much for chiming in. Cam, thanks for being here.
Thank y'all.
Once again, thank you for pushing that play button. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, go back, listen a second and third time. Tell your grandma about us. We're doing a lot of cool stuff, and we out. Go in.